Hello my crafty lovelies, I'm back again tonight. I hope I don't rock the table too much. I noticed it rocked an awful lot the other day. Let's put that just to the side there. So we're doing roses tonight. I said I'd do a rose tutorial. Let me just shut that door a bit. My housemate's already gone to bed, so. And we've got two different types of roses here that we're doing. This is the cabbage rose. And this one is your just regular English cottage rose. See the difference in the leaves. Now, I'll sit here at night time and I'll just cut out squares and cut them to shape and things like that so that I can make as many roses as I like. Couple of things you'll need for this. I use skewers. Bamboo skewers. The skinny one is probably the better one for doing the smaller flowers, just for shaping the petals. The big one obviously for doing bigger flowers. I have a little bit of baking paper on my mat there because I can't find my non-stick mat that I had. Tech tip for you girls that don't want to go and spend a fortune on a silicone mat. You can either use one of these or you can actually use a silicone baking mat, which is what I have. You'll need your scissors. I like to have a set of fine nose tweezers for rolling the centres for the flowers. I like to get it nice and tight inside there so that it actually has the layers. I think that's about it. Your paper, I'm using A4 paper. I've got, this is a red. This is just red paper. It's slightly patterned. I don't know if you can see that. Just very slightly got a pattern on there. Now I prefer that for the cabbage roses, just the slightly thicker paper. And for the cottage roses, I actually prefer to use a cardstock. And I'm really loving this pearlized cardstock that you can pick up at our local craft store really cheap. You can pick up about, I think it's about 10 pieces or something in a packet, and it's about $5 I think, which is not bad for pearlized paper. And I love the effect that gives for your roses. You get that shimmer without having to add your glitter. So alright, so let's get on with it. What I've done here is I cut my paper into 2.5 inch squares, which is what I have on my table here on my mat. So 2.5 inch squares. You get a fair few out of an A4 piece of paper. Both of these I cut exactly the same, so they're cut like this, and then I'll sit and I'll cut them like this. Now I'll show you how I do that. All I do is I fold my piece of paper into 4. Both of these have exactly the same leaf structure. So I'll fold it in 4 like that. And I'll show you the leaf. So you can actually see. So that's the leaf there. I'll hold the corner that has all the folds there. And that is my pattern to cut out. So where we have the corners, the 3 corners, I do a little indent, I'll do a little hump and then an indent, a little hump and an indent, a little hump and an indent. So I'll just show you how I do that. And I start cutting from just here. I don't know if you can see that, ladies, just there. So probably, let's see, or not even a ½ inch up. So under ½ an inch from the corner. I cut in just a little bit and go towards the corner and then around, and then I bring it in a little bit and then I go up towards the corner again, not too high, and around and bring it in again and then out and around, and then I bring it back to that little same spot just there. Hope you can see that, like that. So it kind of looks like, to me, looks like one of those fake noses. And when you fold that out, let's see if I can get it out. Oh, it doesn't want to come out today. There we go. So you can see I've taken it just left it joined here. Sorry, just left it joined here in the centre. Cut it in a little bit and around. And if you don't like the shape of it, see this one's a little bit pointed. I'd probably go, whoops, sorry, there you go. This one's a little bit pointed. So I'd probably go in and I'd just round that off. But you know, I can sit here in an evening with a box full of these and just start cutting them out. Depends on how interested I am in doing flowers at the time. I've been busy the last week. So, and I'll just cut thousands of them out. So once they're all in a pile like that, I'll sit there and I'll decide which flower I'm doing, and I'll start shaping them all. So I'll end up with a pile of petals that are already shaped. Now I have done a rose, a country rose in the paper, but as you can see, it doesn't really hold the shape as well. So you can do it, you can get away with it if you haven't got the cardstock, but I really do prefer the cardstock for these ones because it really holds its shape lovely. So what we do, we'll start with this one here. For these ones, basically your fold is actually threefold. So in and out and in. Now a quick way to do this is when this is actually folded up, because it is cardstock, because this is cardstock, I will actually sit here and do it like this, and that way each petal actually goes an alternate way to the next one. So you've kind of got like your three folds, so you're one in the centre and then one either side of it. And when you fold it out, they're actually alternate ways, so you get a more ruffled effect when you're putting your flower together. So I don't know if you can see that, ladies. So then what I like to do, I just curl these up a little bit to go in the centre. Kind of mash it together to start off with. We'll just put a little bit of glue in there, because the centre is kind of crunched together like that. And from that, I'd actually just build up on that, going alternate. So let's see if I can build that one up a little bit. And tech tip with this, if you actually discover that you've got a bit of a hole and you think, oh, you know, how did I manage that? You can actually just tear off one petal and glue it in to fill up the space. And you can go in afterwards, after you've actually glued it all together, and separate the ruffles. So if it's not standing out enough, just separate the ruffles and roll it a little bit more so that it stands up from where it was. And gives it a better effect. So it's the one time that you can actually be messy and scruffy, and it doesn't really matter. It makes it better. And just add that like that. Literally just crunch them together. So that's kind of the centre there. You just keep adding layers onto that until you actually get it as big as you want it. So, I mean, that one's easy as. You just build that up until you actually get the size you want. I mean, if you want to do a smaller one, yeah, okay, do a smaller one. If you want to add a few more layers to it, go ahead, add a few more layers. There's no set guide rule that I follow. But that is your cabbage rose. So let's have a look at our other rose now. So I hope that helps. Like I said, just layer up, add a bit more until it looks how you want it. And if you have a bit of a space, if you go in and you think, oh, you know, there's a bit of a space there and it's not filled up, you can either get in there with your skewer and roll the petals so they actually fill that space, or you can take one petal and just put a little bit of glue on the end of it and push it in there, and works surprisingly well. So our second one here, what I do is I take one petal and I roll it up, and I like to use, I've already glued this one, but I like to use my fine nose tweezers to roll this right in nice and tight, so it gets nice and tight, and then I'll glue it, and I'll just roll a little bit of the petal over like that. And I've just torn that, so I will just trim it. Scissors hide a multitude of sins. Right, there you go, just roll that over, and that's your centre. Now before I put the centre in to these, basically this one is just rolled in the centre here. Let's see if I can do one from scratch. We'll cut one out, shall we? So it's a bit harder to do the cut with these ones, but we'll do it anyway. So starting again, just so that you've got a little bit of that centre there, take it out and around. I hope you can see that all right. It's very hard for me to see the camera and look at what I'm doing at the same time. Right, like that. There we go. There's our little fake nose. There we go. Fold that up. Now there you go. You can see where it's been folded. This one hasn't cut quite the way through. So easy set of scissors. Just go in and take out a little V shape. Easy, perfect. Now what I do with these, I use the butt end of the skewer and roll here all the way around on all of them like that. And what I like to do, sometimes when you cut paper you sort of get a little lip on it. I always try and make sure that the lip goes towards the back the opposite way. So if I'm rolling that in there, there's kind of a little lip on that side of the paper, the cardboard. And then I get the pointed end and I roll these over this way. And what I do is I press my thumb in here into that dent that we've already made. I press my thumb in there. So as I'm rolling that, you kind of get a V shape in your petal. You see that? I put my thumb in there and I hold it either side there and roll it. And you get that kind of nice V shape there. Easy, isn't it? Only because I said so. There we go. And the last one, and push in there. There we go. I'll just roll that round on my thumb and the pointed edge there. Too easy. So before that the centre goes in there, what I'll do is I'll check that, and sometimes it'll be a little bit too long, so I'll just take a little bit off of here, like that, so it sits inside a little bit more. That's better. And helps if the glue doesn't fall out the glue gun. Right. Oh, and it's fallen on the floor this time. Obviously didn't want to be in my glue gun. It's because I couldn't be bothered gluing it to the next one. Alright. What I'll do is put a little bit of glue there. And we'll just glue the centre in. I'm going to do just one side of the petal, gluing it in. Gives you kind of a windmill look, but then when you put the next one on, it looks more layered. I don't want to stay there because I put the glue on my thumb instead of on the centre. Fold that around a little bit. Fold that around a bit. I hope I'm working where you can see me. Fold that around a bit. There we go. Get the glue on your thumb, but that's okay because you're making a pretty rose, and you can see how that sort of gives it a nice centre. Take the glue off your thumb so you can do what you want to do next. Alright, so the next one, we take it and you find where there's two petals joining together, and that's where your next petal goes. So next petal would go in between there. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to put a bit of glue here. Like that. Now, it doesn't matter if these overlap or not because you're going to the next layer now, so it really doesn't matter. Sorry for the squeaky table, dear. Yeah. Not a lot I can do about that. It's a very old table. Oh, there's my pussycat. Did I wake you, cat? Huh? What? Did I wake you? Sorry. She's talking to me now. Thinks it's chat time. Okay. So let's come open a little bit. Not what I wanted. It's my pussycat. Meow. What? Where are you going? It's my Snickers. It's my Snickers. What you doing, baby? What you doing? You're going to rub up against everything, are you? Of course you are. Oh. Yeah, there you go. See, even I have problems. That one's come undone again. So just put some more glue in there, hold it for a little bit longer. There we go. Well, I've got a pussycat on the chair with me. Where are you going? You can't help. You can't help. I'm sorry. She's going to have a look in a minute, I think. You want to say hello? You want to say hello? Hello? Say hello, Snickers. Hello, beautiful girl. Hello, beautiful girl. Oh, I love you too. I've just come to say hello to everybody. Oh, there we go. Hello, what you doing? Okay, so I'm going to leave it about there, but that's your general idea. And like I said, same petal, 2 roses. You can even do a third one. The third one is easier altogether. Basically, you just put this on a piece of sponge, and you use your, sorry, I don't have a piece here at the moment. What do I have? I have a bit of blue lace. You put it on a piece of sponge, and you use your ball thing, or whatever, and you just roll your paper. And that'll actually gather up, and then you just layer it to the point you want it. So, same deal, you just stagger the petals, and then I just put some beads in the middle. So, easy, easy, 3 roses, 1 pattern. I hope you girls try it out. Bye.